Okay, let me know if you relate to this, but sometimes I compare myself to other people that I see, and before I like consciously tell myself not to do this, I'm immediately thinking about all the ways that I'm not doing as good as I want to do, or, not where I'm at in a certain aspect of life, or that I'm not like at this person's level or whatever it is. Okay. Like, I need to know if there are other people out there like this, because I do this like just subconsciously sometimes. And I am really intentionally trying to work on knowing that I know that there's this cliche saying that comparison is the thief of joy. And I've always just kind of like rolled my eyes at it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And it is. And I have to really be intentional with this, because here's my thing. I don't think it's okay to compare yourself and then like dog on yourself for stuff without a plan in place to solve the problem. Okay. I do, however, think there is a healthy form of competition and comparison. Like, I think that we need to look to higher standards to know where we want to be, right? So for me, I think like it's finding that balance. It's like, I want to look to my mentors, and I want to look to people who are at way different levels of life than me, like higher levels that I want to aspire to. I want to look at them for inspiration. I want to see, well, what is she doing? What does her day look like? So that I can start doing those things, because there's this whole realm of like the quantum, right? Where it's like, if you want a specific outcome, you need to embody that energy, the energy that outcome entails before you get there. Okay. And like, it sounds so woo woo. And if you would have told me 10 years ago that I would be on here speaking about this on social media, I would have been like, you cray. What are you talking about? Because like, I always was like, when people would talk about manifesting stuff, I was like, yeah, I roll. Like, sure, I can just think about what I want to happen and it's just going to appear. Well, no, that is not actually how manifesting works. Okay. Like, you can't just sit there and think about something and then never take an action step to get there and expect it to show up. And I think that that's the biggest disconnect that has happened in like today's society, is there's a whole lot of like anti-hustle culture. There's a whole lot of, I'm gonna just wait and see what the universe provides or what God provides. And like, listen, I'm just gonna say it. The universe / God, however you want to like, think about things, is not going to just like show up and just give you something that you're not worthy of receiving. Okay. And I'm sorry if that sounds harsh. I'm so sorry, but it's the truth. God / the universe wants to give you everything good. Okay. Like, literally everything is right here. It's existing already. It's waiting for you, but you have to show that you are capable of handling it. So if you're just sitting on your behind all day, not taking steps going forward, or just sitting in a cycle of excuses about how much time you don't have, how busy you are, how you don't have the money to do what you want to do, but you're not actually doing anything to like get out of that situation, why would God ever trust you with something amazing? You know what I mean? So like, I have really had to figure out this balance in, I'm going to look for what I want in life. And I don't even just mean like material, monetary things. I mean, this counts in terms of time freedom, time spent with Bexley. How do I want my existence with her as a mom, as like a single mom in particular, to look like, right? Like, I want to be able to be present with her for school events, for when she's, doing, I don't know what the girl's going to do, because I don't know, but like, I'm just going to use examples like soccer, dance, whatever her passions are. I want to be able to be there for that and to experience that with her. Like, I don't want to just be tied up and in this revolving cycle of, not being able to be present, not being able to be intentional. And that does not mean that I don't want to do anything in my life to provide the means for me to be able to have that freedom. Okay. So there is a monetary income component to that. Like if I want time freedom in my life, I can't just sit around. Okay, let me back up. I can have time freedom if I didn't work, if I just sat on my couch all day. But let me tell you quickly, sitting on my couch all day without working, when I'm the solo income in my household, would mean I would no longer have a couch to sit on. You feel me there? So like, it's really not a possibility. Like I can't just sit around. Like I have to do things. There is a physicality, a real reality to life. And I think you have to marry that balance. You have to be very intentional with your time and being present with the things that you want. And you have to keep looking for ways to create abundance in your life and ways to create intentionality and ways to create time freedom. So that's where I'm at. And I started this live with a totally different intention of what I was going to talk about. And now I'm like somewhere else. So with that being said, this is what got my brain thinking about this morning. I started my business with Monty less than a year ago. Actually, I think I bought my product pack like this week last year. Okay. But I like sat on it for several weeks because I had a seminar I was teaching in January and I was like, I'm just going to get my products and I'm just going to like wait it out and I'm not going to do too much at once or whatever BS I had in my head. So I like waited until I think it was like February of 2024 to actually start doing anything with this. Like I just had the box of products and didn't do much with it, which is honestly like the story I hear a lot with a lot of people. They get started and then they like get the box of products and they get access to this amazing resource. And then they're like, all of a sudden start doubting themselves. Imposter syndrome sets in. And then the box just sits in their closet for weeks or months. Like I've even had people who bought the products for themselves and then didn't even use them. They didn't even use the shampoo to wash their hair for like a month or two. And I'm like, just at least wash your hair, like use it, like start getting to know the products. But anyway, about a year ago, less than a year ago, I started my business and I definitely have had a lot of times this year where I have sat down and like compared myself to other people, other women in the business, and have been very frustrated with where I'm at. I've been happy simultaneously, yet also frustrated, if that makes sense. Because like, and let me know if you're like this, because I'm the type of person that when I start something, I give it my all. I can't just like give 50% of my intention, 50% of my passion, 50% of my work ethic. Like if I'm going to try something or start something, I want to know, I want no doubts. Like if something ends up not being for me, I want zero doubts later in my life that, well, maybe if I actually tried a little harder, or maybe if I really listened to my business coach, or if I did what my mentor was telling me that I probably should be doing with my time, maybe that could have worked for me. Like, no girl, no ma'am. I'm none of that. Like I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it fully so that if something isn't for me, I know it's truly not for me. So that's what I've done this year. I have gone full out. Okay. And I work full time. I teach. So Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, I'm 100% taken up away from my online business, right? Like I'm doing something else that I absolutely love doing. I love teaching. I love mentoring the next generation of doctors in our profession. But that job requires me to be 100% intentional and 100% present in my time. Because not only am I teaching and working with students, I am overseeing patient care in the clinic. So this isn't the type of job where I'm sitting at a cubicle and I can have a podcast in and I can be doing work on my online business while I'm sitting there waiting on email responses or waiting on phone calls. Like, no, this is a 100% when I walk through the door at 8 a.m. until I leave at 5 p.m. or later sometimes, because again, like if there's still patients in the building, I can't just say peace. Like, so this isn't like I clock in at 8, I clock out at 5, and there's time in between. This is from 8 to 5. I'm 100% intentionally present in my role as faculty, as a clinician in the clinic. And I love that. But what that means for me when it comes to my business is that really cuts out a large chunk of my day in terms of like working time when it comes to money. So that means my business time has to be before I go to work, and I'm out the door by 7 a.m. every morning because I have to drop Bexley off at school first. And I pick her up after school, and I don't get home till about 6. And then it's bedtime, or it's dinner time, and then bedtime, right? So guess when a lot of my working time happens? Before 7 o'clock in the morning and after 8 o'clock at night. That's my business time. And during my lunch, sometimes, depending on like, sometimes I'll have calls to be on, sometimes I'm doing hair consults. So if I don't have something else like already, like, you know, related to something else going on at lunch, when it comes to like Sherman or like student meetings or, you know, whatever else, I can fit Monat stuff in there. So there's like, but there's very chunked times that I can do this. Now I'm doing it. Okay, y'all, I'm up at 5 a.m. every single day. Even on like weekends, if I don't have a seminar that I'm attending or teaching, I'm up. Like, I think my sleeping in on the weekends is maybe me sleeping till like 6 a.m. because it's like, I know, like I've dedicated the time. I'm like, this is my morning time to work. I wake up, I get ready first thing. I don't let myself wander around in my pajamas. I don't like walk around in my robe, because like if I go into that mindset, I'm gonna immediately like the productivity time is like going down. Like for me, I'm the type of person, I cannot sit around in my pajamas all day. It kills my productivity. The second I roll out of bed, I go right into the bathroom and I get dressed and I do my hair and I do my makeup, and before I even get my coffee, because it's like I'm getting ready. I'm setting myself up for the day. I'm not going to give myself any time to let complacency set in. That's what I'm trying to say. So I get ready. I spend about 30 minutes in the morning doing something for my business before Bexley gets up. So between like 6 and 6:30, or maybe sometimes or like 5:45 to 6:30, depending on like if I can get ready quicker. I do it, but some mornings I am dragging a little, not gonna lie. So I spend that time, I post a reel on social media, I go live. Yeah, I go live at 5:30 in the morning sometimes, because if I don't do it then, it's not gonna happen sometimes. So I do that. I, you know, respond to emails or hair quizzes. I do something very intentional so that first thing in the morning, I know I already have a win for my business. And as soon as Bexley wakes up at 6:30, it's go time. We're getting ready. We're getting lunch packed up. We're getting out the door, leaving at 7, dropping her off to school, and then I'm at work at 8. And then from 8 to 5, I am 100% present, working with my students and with patients at the college. And then 5 to 6, I'm picking Bexley up from school, driving home. Then it's dinner time, bath time if she's disgusting. And bedtime. And then at 8 o'clock, I will have my team calls. Sometimes there's corporate calls. And if there's not a call, I'm intentionally working. I'm responding to any hair quizzes that came in that day. I'm doing consults. I am, you know, talking to people about the business. I'm helping my team grow. I'm helping them with their customers. And that's just how it's been, right? And like, I love it. I'm grateful for it. And I've also watched some women that I've started with at the same time, like just fly off the handle in a good way in terms of like popping off. Like they are literally already driving their Cadillacs. They already earned the car. They've already earned several trips. They're like literally about to be part of the, you know, probably the 100K club in terms of commissions. And they started at the same time as me. And I'm so happy for them. Like literally every time something happens where they like get another like accolade, I am literally about to like cry for these women because I work alongside them every day. I see how much time they're putting in. I'm so proud of them. Like I'm getting like emotional right now. And I've seen these moms like literally be able to replace their, like there's one mom, she was a nurse. She still is a nurse, but she was a nurse. She was working overnight and she really wanted to be home with her kids. And she was really never able to be present with them because her schedule was opposite of her husband's, but like she was working lots of overnights. She was exhausted by the time she came home. So then she would be like, when she was home, she was sleeping to catch up for the next shift, all these things. And all she wanted was to be able to come home to her kids and be able to be home with them and be present as a mom. And she started this business maybe a couple months before me. And within a few months, she replaced her nursing income. And now she works one shift a month, not even because she has to, but because she wants to keep her nursing like license and job active. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't want to like totally stop nursing. She wants to keep it active, but she doesn't want to be there every day because it was draining her and it was keeping her away from her kids. So now she works one shift a month to stay active in the nursing field, but is home with her kids every other day. Like amazing, right? I love it so much. And she's not an isolated story. There are several women that started their business around the same time as me on my like teams and sidelines who are doing these things. And me being the person I am, coming in being like, wow, like this is so amazing for them. Like I would also simultaneously get frustrated with myself to be like how you're, I'm not there with like my car yet, you know, like I haven't earned my Cadillac. Is it on my list to do? Hell yeah, it is. It's like, I will be there, but I'm like looking at these time frames and I'm like, damn. And I'm like getting down on myself and I'm like, are you not working hard enough? Like, are you not good enough at this? Like, like all of these things, right? All of the doubt, the seeds of doubt start getting planted. And like, I have to keep telling myself like, Shannon, that none of that's true. I know for sure I'm giving it all I have. I mean, I'm up at 5 a.m. every day working this business. I'm up at night working this business. I'm doing it. But I'm also have to be very like realistic in the fact that I am working 100% full time and also solo parenting when I have my daughter and working this business. So this business is more part-time for me in this moment than it is as being something that's full-time in terms of replacing full-time income. So like I have to take a perspective shift sometimes to be like, okay, this is okay, because let me go a little further into this. This is where I started thinking about this. I have an interview with a virtual assistant today. And as I'm thinking about this, I'm like, holy crud muffins. Who would have thought that a year into your business, you would be at a place income-wise in your business that you could, number one, require the assistance of a virtual assistant. Number two, have enough income coming in that I can now pay somebody else as part of my team. Like, I started this business because I was struggling to be able to provide organic groceries without having like a panic attack every week for me and my daughter. I was trying to pay off credit card debt. I wanted just some breathing room in my day-to-day financial situation. And now, not even a year in, I have enough means for me to not only have that breathing room and I can buy the organic groceries without having to panic, and I can do these things and like feel not so stressed about my finances. Not only am I there, but I have enough additional to that I can now hire another person to help me to free up my time even more so I can be so intentional with my time to really 10x my business results. And I was like, you know what? For a year of working part-time to be able to have the means to hire now a virtual assistant to help you be intentional with your time going forward, like that's a pretty damn good accomplishment in my opinion. And I'm not saying this to brag or boast. I'm saying this to show that sometimes a mindset shift is necessary when it comes to this type of business. When you're in the network marketing space, not everybody's business looks the same, and that's okay. And it's the beautiful thing about this business is that not everyone's business is going to look the same. Some women do this as their full-time income. They have more time to dedicate to it because it is their full-time. It's their full-time thing. So of course they might exponentiate, and you're going to see them hitting some of these goals faster because this is their full-time thing. Then there are women like me that have a full-time job that you have to be 100% present and intentional while you're seeing patients and teaching and things like that. So your time for your network marketing business has to be in smaller compartments of your day, but that doesn't mean you can't be successful at it. You just have to be intentional with your time. And the fact that you can then take that, turn it around as an investment. You got to think about it as an investment. So I could very easily not hire a virtual assistant right now. I could just like sit where I'm at and be like, okay, yeah, I'll get, if I don't hire this virtual assistant, I could actually, I don't know what I would do with the additional money. Like I could buy myself more clothes. I could see, I'm not good at this. I don't know the things in life that people spend their money on sometimes, because I haven't been in that place in a really long time to be able to spend my money on anything that didn't require food, electricity, water, or like Bexley school or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I've just been spending my money on the necessities for so long. I don't even know sometimes what people spend their money on, but I could do that. I could shift and I could be like, okay, I'm going to go, eat out more often and like spend more money doing that. Or I could go get like an upgraded car. Like I'm in my van right now. I love my van. I love it, but I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm like, man, the fact that my brake light's been on for like 3 months and I don't know what's wrong with it. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I need to look at another car. And yeah, I do, but let me just say I'm going to work on getting the Cadillac paid for by Monate for me on that front, but that's a whole other story. I could do these things, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stay in the world of, I'm going to keep cooking at home and not spending extravagantly on food out. I'm going to stick with my van for a little longer and not spend extra money on a newer car. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to invest it back into my business so that I can exponentiate my growth. And this is how you have to think and how you have to work as an entrepreneur. And this is what I work with my team on. It's like, you've got to be intentional with your time. You have to invest your business, the money you make, invest it back into the business for a while. It's just like any other business that you guys own. If you opened a brick and mortar business down the street, you don't take your first bit of profit in and immediately go spend it on like Starbucks, right? Like you take that and you invest it back in the business. You maybe get another employee to help you not have to be there as much. You buy a new piece of equipment so that the one that keeps breaking isn't going to keep costing you money. You invest it back, right? This is what smart business owners do. This is what you learn when you're in this network marketing space, is how to invest back into yourself, invest into your business, delegate your time, be intentional with your time, and really 10x your results. So that's what I'm doing. And I had to shift my mindset to be like, you know what? Yeah, you can compare yourself to all these other women as inspiration. And these women inspire me every single day. And also knowing that everybody's situation is different and everybody works their business differently. And that's okay, as long as you are actually doing the things you need to do to move your business forward. Like if you're saying you're working your business, but you're just like sitting on the couch, not doing anything, that's not working your business. But if you're working your business in the cracks of your day because you have a full-time job and you're a single parent and you have whatever else you have going on, but you are showing up as much as you can and you're very intentional with your time and you're working that business, you're gonna see success. It just might take you a little bit longer than somebody who has an entire day to dedicate to their business. You know what I mean? Anyway, I've been on here so much longer than I thought I was going to be. Thank you guys for who's here and who's been hanging with me during this. I'm now going to head into Starbucks. I'm going to look up some stuff for my virtual assistant interview that I have today so I can start getting some tasks together to be able to get her started. And I'm going to go do some intentional work on my business. All right. Have a wonderful day. We'll chat soon.